Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Lips. How are you? It's your girl, Miss Mouthy, and I'm here with another episode. This episode is one of our mini series from Our Black Joy, which is sponsored by BTF. And if you don't know what BTF is, it is the Black Trans Fund. And that is an organization that really highlights what joy and liberation look like for Black and Brown folks of trans experience. So I really am excited to be able to have my special guest today. But before we bring that person out, I want to give y'all a week recap. I can't even say weekend because I'm so used to every week coming on here and just really um, talking about what happened the previous weekend. But because I do every other week now, this is what we have. But so much going on. So y'all know the holidays is coming up. So Meals with Mouthy is coming up. So anybody that's in the city of Detroit that may need to find a space to come out and celebrate the holidays, please check me out. I will be putting out the flyers as well as I'm collaborating with someone that it will be in the city giving out meals on the 23rd. So I will definitely put out that information as well. Big shout outs to a lot of the local businesses that's been really highlighting and supporting the Miss Motley podcast. So the CMC Lounge, as well as VE Elite um, Event Space. I definitely think that this episode is going to be by far my best one because when you think of meditation, when you think of grounding, healing, and all of those things, nobody else comes to mind like my special guest today. And she's just an awesome ass person. Like, I just genuinely love vibing out with them. And every time we get together, it's a vibe. But I'm not going to carry it too much longer. Jamie, can you bring out my special guest?
Hi,
Hi.
Miss Mouthy,
Period. Okay. Okay. I'm so here for it. I am so happy that you're here. Can you tell the people who you are, what you do, and where you're coming from?
Yes, so my name is Desi Hall. I originally hail from the illustrious Selma, Alabama.
Okay.
Okay, get into that history that I'm coming from. And I have my own meditation practice. I also do a bunch of community organizing right now. I do a lot of labor organizing. Um, but my passion is meditation and is all things spiritual. I went to Vanderbilt Divinity School, got my master's in theological studies, Birmingham Southern. I major in religion, so I'm like a religion nerd, spirituality nerd. Like that's it just gets me excited and gets me going. I have a
Ooh.
little dog named Sir. I'm an Aries sun, Gemini moon, Libra rising. Um,
Okay, I see that for you. And if
okay,
you don't know, then you
now
need
you
to.
know. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
So that's a little bit about me. And I'm so excited to be here to support you, sister, and to be on this beautiful platform you've built.
thank you. Thank you so much. I am so glad because I know we talked about it like we got to get together and we got to collab. Um, but I definitely think after BGR and connecting with you and being in this space and knowing how organic our bond just formed, it only made sense that when I came back home to present a next episode, I was just like, oh, Desi got to come. And especially what you were doing in the space. So, for the people who may not know, can you kind of shape out what you were doing when we were at BGR that kind of like, for me, was revolutionary? Like, I really felt like that was a great space and a great way for people to reconnect with themselves every morning.
Yeah. Um, so I mean, I did a few things in this space. I hosted like sunrise meditation, so folks could get up in the morning and come and meditate with me, start their day off. And I also did like private one-on-ones where I would listen to folks whatever they were going through, and really just giving them some spiritual guidance, insight. My biggest thing is like um, Kalan. Hi,
Hi,
Kalan.
Kalan.
um, my biggest thing was just like, for me, I am my own ministry, so everything that I do comes from a place of like experience and a place of what got me through. So that's kind of what I was moving in the space with, is just like being grounded in the things that helped me in the beginning of the pandemic, helped me when I'm anxious, helped me whenever. And I also was just in the space to serve, giving folks water, napkins, whatever they needed, just so folks
Right.
felt loved and taken care of. Because I found that, that is when people feel my love the most, is when I'm like, just doing my Southern
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
So I brought that Southern hospitality experience to BGR and combined it with my meditation. So it was a really beautiful space, like just
It
connecting.
really was.
I definitely feel like I got so much more than I could have ever given. Um, Whether it was like from the organizers or the support staff, like I think BGR was just so, and BGR is always so magical for me in this way. It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm suddenly immersed in community and immersed in not only just community, but a bunch of community that believes in me,
Yeah.
understands what I'm doing, and I don't have to explain it. Like, um, yeah, so it was just really beautiful. It was really beautiful.
And yeah, and so you're so needed. Like you're such a vital part of the work that we do, and being able to like really just recenter folks when we kind of sometimes get off track. But how did we get here, Desi? Like, what led you into your practices now? Like, was this something that you felt like you've always done or had a calling for, or was it something significant that got you here?
Well, so I mean, I've always been just like a girl who can like really picture things in her mind. So that is
Right.
like a huge asset when like creating meditations and visualizations, because I could just,
Yeah.
talk to people how I'm seeing it and talk them through it. But I've always been fascinated with spirituality, always been fascinated with religion, um, all religions, all facets of
Yeah.
spirituality. Because I grew up in Selma, like deeply Christian, deeply Southern. Um,
Right.
and then I also like see all of this stuff on TV. I hear all of this stuff. Like there was just a lot
Hmm.
of different theologies and things that I encountered growing up that didn't quite rub well with my spirit.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Well,
didn't
we
know
gonna
why. Okay, and I didn't know why.
yeah.
So why was kind of like the undergirding my journey through school. Um, and also, I think in the summer of 2020, after COVID was happening, the
Yeah.
pandemic, I was having literal panic attacks every day, just because I was so anxious. Like I might have COVID,
Same.
child. We didn't know at the time, so I was like, I hope
We
my
didn't know
dog
what was going
don't
on.
get COVID, bitch. I was so worried that Service gonna get COVID. When Service
Okay.
talk to the other dogs, I was like, bring your ass back over here, boy.
Yeah,
You
we gotta stay in this box.
okay? And I was in my apartment all the time, so I just had kind of created this world for myself where my anxiety just could run wild and run free in a very tight enclosed space. Um, and at that point, I was like talking to my therapist, like, bitch, I need help. These breathing exercises, like, ugh. So I got on some anxiety medication. I like to be transparent about that.
And I
Um,
love that. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So I got on anxiety medication, and the particular class of medication I was on is SSRI. So it takes time to build up in your system. So while I was waiting for this medication to start working, I had to do something in the
Hmm.
meantime, to just self soothe, keep me grounded, keep me from having panic attacks. And I started listening to guided meditations.
Yes.
Um, and I would listen to them constantly, like all day long. Like, I wake up listening to guided meditations, listening to them till I'm falling asleep, wake up, do it again, do it again, do it again. I did that most of that summer. And I got to the end of the summer, and because at the time I had already had a podcast. It was called like Transfigure. It was just this
Right.
thing I really made because I just wanted to talk shit. Um, Literally just wanted to talk shit.
But
Um,
that's the thing. Like during the pandemic, you needed an outlet between Vigo and creating Mouthy. I was like, shit, I gotta tell somebody. We can't be around each other, but at least I can talk in this regard.
yeah. And so I was already like sort of familiar with podcasting. And then it was like I was like, I don't know what it was, but just something in my spirit, like, this meditation thing that you're doing, you can guide yourself through that.
Right.
So I started guiding myself through meditations because I noticed like when I would listen to guided meditations, I would start to like deviate from what they were saying, like in my visualization. So I'm like, bitch, you probably can just hook it up together yourself. And I tried it, and I think that first year when I did it, I didn't really take it serious. It was just like, I'm just recording some meditations, putting it out for the people. And it felt like a way to support folks at the time because I knew I wasn't the only one in a pressure cooker.
Right.
I knew everyone was going through some really intense shit at that time. And that meditations felt like my offering to the world, my offering in a time where I felt really helpless and felt like there wasn't anything I could do to change these major circumstances happening in the world. Um, so that's how it came to be, and from there, I think it was Dear Nisha Duncan Boyd. We always talk about Dear Nisha.
But come
Um,
on, there, Nisha, we
who
do.
pushed me to like take this serious because she booked me for my first BGR. And I came in, I showed up, and then I came in and I showed up again.
Yeah.
But it was like that initial, like, hey, I see a talent in you. I see that you have the capacity to really guide people through healing, because that's what I like to say. I don't heal people, I guide people to healing.
You
Um,
gotta be clear, okay?
let's be
You
clear.
didn't heal me.
I'm the only person that I can heal. I can't heal you.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sister, we be getting
Just so
so
you know,
okay.
you are responsible for self. Your healing journey is on you. Okay.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So it was just a bunch of random circumstances. And even this year, like coming off of BGR, I'm like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I want to do this in a way that's systemic, that's impactful, that's long term, in a way that sustains me financially, to where I just am really doing what feels and comes natural to me. And this comes super natural to me. So I've been very grateful for the way in which I was just like, dooping in nonprofits. And then through panic
Wow.
and
The bomb
anxiety,
just went off.
yeah,
Okay.
I found this thing that I'm like super good at. So yeah, that's how it came to be.
I love that. I love that so much. Um, so I guess my next question is, even in this practice, right? It may take a lot out of you. This is just me speculating, but if it do, how do you necessarily recharge from helping people on their healing journey?
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird in a way that, like, on one hand, this work energizes me, energizes my spirit, because it's like I'm doing what I'm good at. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what comes natural. So it's like it's energizing in that way. But on the other way, it's like, on those days when, I feel like I can't be effective, or like I don't have a gift, or like, um, me being depressed or me grieving means that I can't show up for someone, that I can't guide someone. I think on those days, I just kind of sit in it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just sit in it. If it's
That's,
sadness, if it's grief, if it's tiredness, I just sit in it for a second and breathe through it for a second. And especially like these days, because I think I've always felt the urge to instantly pull myself out of a hole, to instantly be okay, to instantly be a light for those around me. And like literally right when we got back from BGR, I found out on the plane that one of my good friends, she was so good to me in undergrad, and I went to a PWI with a bunch of crazy ass white people. She was good to me and she protected me in a lot of ways. And I found out that she passed away while I was on the plane. And it was just like, even that, like I'm coming off of this wonderful, beautiful trip that
right.
had transformed, solidified so much for me. And then I'm faced with grief. And then I'm faced with like, you still got shit to do.
Yeah.
You still have a life to live. Um, and I think the best way for me to get over that was, and has been, because I'm still working through it. It's grief. It's like a up and down thing.
Right.
Is to just sit in it and to just be gentle with myself on those days. Like when I come out of those things and I look back and I'm like, girl, you were so kind to yourself in
Yeah.
that. You were so gentle to yourself in that. That fills me up. That recharges me. Like, and it's a muscle. There's sometimes when, a lot of times when I'm going through things, I'm not feeling my best, and it's so in me to just be mad and to be upset. Like, girl, why aren't you superstar? Why aren't you alien superstar right now? Like, but it's also like even alien superstar, like what Megan says, Monday, Tuesday, bad bitches have bad days too. Like,
Oh,
come on
sister,
now.
don't do it to me. I'm trying to. Okay,
I'm
but
always
yeah,
bring it
okay.
in.
Are we back at it? Okay, like
I
a
always
messy
bring
script.
it
Okay.
in. So yeah, I don't know. And it's something so just holy and just human about just allowing yourself to not be at your
Yeah.
best, even if it's for a second. Because I truly believe when it says, like, we are God experiencing God's self, like throughout our lives, like the peace of God that's in us is us experiencing it. And it's like those sad days, those bad parts, like God made that too.
Yeah,
That's
that's real.
beautiful too. That's holy too. Like my bad feelings, my shadow side, the things that I don't like looking at, but need to be held. Um, God likes that too.
Yeah.
So I should hold that if God can hold that.
Thank you for that. So this is the point. Normally, I'll say, "Do you want to play a game with me?" But
Ooh.
since you on here, I'm gonna say, "Do you want to meditate?" Well, do you want to guide me through a meditation?
Yes.
So this is a experience I feel like for anybody who might be watching or listening that you get to see somebody in their greatness doing what they do, but also offering you something that in moments if you feel depleted, in moments where you may not feel most of your joy, hopefully this practice can help you alleviate some of that pressure. So
Yeah.
what we gotta do, Debbie.
So wherever you are, if you're sitting now, if you're driving, um, fast forward
This
to
is
the
not
part. Fast forward to this part because I don't want to put y'all to sleep on the road. Y'all be trying to sleep.
okay. Now, Miss Mouthy, you said.
Okay. 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 But find somewhere where you're relaxed, where you can feel safe, where you can just breathe. It's gonna be real cute and real quick. Because the beautiful thing about meditation and about breath work, meditation is more about intentionality than it is about a particular ritual or a particular um, experience. Meaning that, if you every day you intentionally say for 10 breaths or 5 breaths, I'm just going to sit still, pay attention to my breathing, take deep breaths. I'm going to give myself that every day. Like, those are meditative moments. You don't have to clear your mind. I am very neurodivergent. I don't know how to clear my mind. I do know how to sort through my thoughts. I do know how to slow down my thoughts. So I want you to, like I said, find somewhere to get comfortable. Close your eyes if you can. If not, leave them open. Stare at our beautiful faces. Cause ting, that's the same
Okay.
thing. So close your eyes and let's take a deep breath in. And I like to do a pattern of breath called box breathing. It's basically where you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, you breathe out for 4 seconds. And that's the box, if you will.
Mm,
Um, so we're gonna do a little bit of that. So let's take a deep breath in and make sure to start off. If you've never meditated before, this is really good. Put one of your right hand on your chest and your left hand on your tummy, and make sure that when you breathe, the hand that's on your tummy is raising and not the one that's on your chest. We want to take real deep breaths into our stomach and make sure that we're giving our body all the oxygen we need. Let us begin. And we're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 1, 2, 3. Be empty for a second. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath and let it go. I want you to let your breath return to normal. Keep your eyes closed and just pay attention to the way that you're breathing. Listen to me while I affirm you for a second. You are a divine creation. You are holy, and your circumstances do not define you. Your worst days do not define you. That intrusive thought does not define you. That mistake you made does not define you. You define you. And in this moment, you should honor yourself and thank yourself for giving you this moment to breathe, to slow down your thoughts, to relax your nervous system. You gave yourself the permission to breathe.
Girl, you was taking me there. Ooh. Okay, until Desi come back, it was giving me everything I needed, y'all. I was in a trance. Okay, I can't fall asleep on this doo doo doo. But we gonna try and get Desi back. But did anybody else feel like that voice when she was talking? It was very much so giving Beyonce Lemonade album. Like I could hear it. Okay, you take a picture of water. You take some glass. But no, we have to get her there. We have people in the middle of meditation.
Oh my God. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so as I was giving you your roses about, I heard Beyonce in your voice while you was
I don't even know
yeah,
what happened. Did it
you
just
take a picture of water. Okay.
please?
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love
I don't
it.
know what part y'all left off on. Um, but as I said, whatever happens today, whatever you go through, know that you can handle it. Just give your body a little bit more oxygen, and you'll have a little bit more room to think, a little bit more room to make decisions of a sound mind. Who wants to make a decision with no oxygen going to their brain? Not me.
Oh
But
no.
with still
Um,
oxygen going to their
okay.
brain. Not
Okay.
me. So take a
So
deep.
you know what? Thank you for that because even in that moment, my main thing was like, why didn't I do this more often? You know, like why don't I slow myself down more often like this? You know?
Oh, and it's because there's a pressure to not. It's like the pressure is that you have to keep going. You have to be productive. You have to produce.
Yes.
Not, but in that, not realizing that the message is also that you have to neglect yourself. You have to neglect your spirit. You have to let your nervous system stay in overdrive, cortisol
Yeah.
levels through the roof. Because if you pause, you're unproductive. You're lazy,
You
or
lazy,
not
all of those
giving it
things.
all your all, or you're not the top boss, or whatever the thing may be that we tell ourselves. But capitalism like puts that pressure on us to where like rest. You need to rest. Are you okay? You need
Yeah. You
this.
ain't got no motherfucking time rest. You gotta come on. What are we doing?
So I say that to say like that pressure is just not all on you, because I think our jobs, our communities, everything, our families, like it doesn't encourage rest. And I think it's often from a place of like protection, because people want us to have our resources we want to have us our needs met. But oftentimes the way that we make sure that that happens is to pause and
Mhm.
rest, so we can be as go forward clearly.
Thank you so much. So, sister, what is bringing you joy in this stage of your life?
Honestly, taking chances on myself, like, because I don't think people have realized like the degree in which fear and anxiety has like controlled the
That's
first 23 and a half, 24 years of my life. Um, like every decision I made was just out of okay, what if this happens? What if that happens? I need to
Yeah.
be prepared for this. I need to be prepared for that. I need to be prepared for this. I need to be prepared for that. And it was always that. It was never just a moment of just breath. You know, I have a great accomplishment. I graduate. I'm never happy because I'm too anxious about the next thing I have to do, the next block I have to build. Um, and it just really puts you oh shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
So being able to really give yourself that decision making process without having to think about what if this happened, and fear and
Yeah,
anxiety
yeah,
is not
yeah.
a thing.
Yes, yes. So, I've really just been trying to live from a place of um, if something happens, I'll be okay. If something
Yeah.
happens, I can respond in that moment. But that situation is not here right now, so I'm not gonna stress about it. And it's really like a muscle. Like it's really like I be in the gym having to work out, like not being anxious, not doom planning, not doom scrolling, like and just breathing. Because I think especially it's been especially important for me in this moment as I'm like trying to figure out how I want to expand my meditation practice and all of that to just be like, hey, enjoy the moment, enjoy being 25 and beautiful and fine and sexy. Like
Yeah.
the financial stability, the job of your dreams, the man of your dreams, the children, the family, like all of these things that I stress about building steps and steps, they're gonna come. They're
Yeah.
gonna come.
That's so
Um,
real.
so it's just, I think the moment has been the most joy for me, like just being grounded in the moment and not being in the past, that I'm not being in tomorrow. Um, like yeah, today is just the most beautiful thing. Like this moment, I may have fucked up yesterday. I might not get a day tomorrow, but right now I can do
Okay.
whatever I want. I can choose to be whoever I want, and that
You
brings
that
me
bitch.
so much
Okay.
what the Clark sister said, God gave me the power to make my day. I really believe that. I really believe that. And sometimes I have to try really hard and fight really hard to make my day. But I know I have the power in me to do so. And that brings me so much joy um, because I've always felt so powerless. I felt so powerless my whole
That's
life.
real.
So to see, like, I really have this agency over myself, this agency over my mood, this agency over my responses, like, this agency over how long I sit to and grieve or whatever, like that has been so joyful. That has been so joyful. Um, and I love some ganja that always makes the
Well,
girl a little joyful.
okay. Well,
You
never
know,
ain't nobody.
okay, okay, okay. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, cooking, I love to cook, girl. I love to cook
okay.
now. So cooking brings me so much joy. Challenging my body brings me joy. Like, but the biggest thing is just allow myself to be, Lord, whatever that is. If
Yeah.
today Desi is mad, if today Desi feels petty, I try not to be petty too much.
Mm.
If
Well, we
today
human.
Okay, but we human. If today Desi is feeling elated, is joyful, whatever, leaving myself alone. Because we grow up and people are always trying to, you need to act like this, you need to do this, you need to do. No, leave that child alone.
Yeah.
Leave yourself alone and just let
Yeah.
yourself be. And that's what I've been doing, and it's been nice.
I love that. I love it. Let me tell you, I be living through you because I be feeling like you are very honest and transparent on social media, and you have a way of calling out something that I will be feeling, but I'm too afraid to express. And so it'd be so good to see a mirroring experience when I read it and I'm like, okay, sis get me. She hear me. She know it. Even if we don't have to say it, but I love it. Um, so my next question is, what would joy look like for our community, or overall, what would you like to see for the joy of our people?
Shit. I mean, similar to what I just said is autonomy. Like,
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
everybody just having the autonomy to be
Yeah.
who, whatever they want to be. You want to be an accountant. You want to be um, a janitor. You want to be a phlebotomist, like you want to be a theater nerd, you want to be an electrician, a plumber, you want to sit at home all day and be a housewife, whatever it is that my people want, that just that lights their soul on fire. I want them to have the autonomy and the capacity to do so and to build it for themselves. Um, because that's what's brought me joy, being able to be myself and not having to explain it every fucking second of the day. Um, and that's what I want for our people. And I think not assuming the worst in each other will bring us a lot more joy, a lot more opportunities to love and find community and connection with one another. Um, yeah, that's what I
I
want.
love things. I echo those same sentiments. Um, so what music is you? What is in your playlist? What are you jamming to? What is bringing your spirit some joy? Okay.
Renaissance is still in rotation months later. Um,
Okay.
Promising Meg, I love that album. It's so
See, that's
good.
why you're my sister. This is why you're my sister.
Okay, okay. And I love Lizzo's project that she dropped this summer. Love Flo Millie's project she dropped this summer. Um,
Ooh,
and oh my God, a song I've been just jamming the Gotta Move On with Diddy and Bryson Tiller. You
yes.
my
The
love.
remix.
Girl, yes.
Ooh,
I love me some Bryson Tiller. I think he's just adorable. He's
yes.
so adorable.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, so I mean, and I really be listening to everything. Like I'm such a pop girl. I love some bubblegum pop. Like I will get my life to some motherfucking Katy
Ooh,
Perry, like some good
take
ass
me back.
pop,
Oh,
some good pop music.
okay.
I live
Yeah,
for
you
it.
can't tell me shit.
Um,
Okay.
Country
No.
music. I mean, I'm into anything that I so what I do every season of my life, like I make a playlist.
Okay.
Um so I'm currently on my fall playlist. It has like a bunch of um Renaissance stuff, some old stuff. I got some Sammy. That song. I like it. I like it.
Okay. I
I've been
like
listening to that on repeat.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's been really good. Yeah, it's been a lot of good music coming out. Now this week it ain't been too much stuff that came out that was too interesting, but it's
Okay.
been a lot of good music coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for Chloe's project to come out. I love Ari's
Oh,
album. Like you said, you named all the greats, and more than anything, like lately, personal people to me have been creating like
mm,
singles, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, y'all getting into the industry, so I look
okay.
forward to like being able to interview them, listen to their stuff, and put other people on. So yeah, that's real dope. Um, what this is something that I struggle with, and I want to because you say you have all these things with religion. You know how it's always that kind of battle. I actually seen a status before I got on here where it's like, oh, this generation that's burning this sage and da 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 da. You don't need to burn that sage. You need to get your Bible. What would you say to like things of that nature?
Oh, a theologian I love, Dr. James Cone, he talks about how he regards the Bible as one of many instances of God manifesting and intervening in human history.
Mm,
And similarly, that's also the approach that I take. Um, I I think that the Bible and Christianity works for a lot of Black folks, and I don't believe in taking away things that work and keep people going.
right.
Um, but to say that that was the only time God showed God's self in human history would be so arrogant and so like just self centered of like United States.
Yeah.
It's just the center of the world, center of life. Um, because if I think about all of these remote tribes that will
Yeah.
never and have never encountered Christianity, and are they going to hell? I
Right.
hope not. That's not a God that I want to follow.
Yeah.
um, I want to follow a God that loves all people, that shows themselves throughout human history, intervenes throughout human history, Who am I to say that God didn't show himself to Muhammad, that God didn't reveal himself through Buddha, themself, herself, whatever
Mhm.
pronoun we want to use. Um, I think about truth like, we all can have a piece of the truth, but the truth is like a pie, like it's a bigger
Mhm.
thing. It's bigger than us. And I think religious and spiritual truth is the same. The truth of the spirituality of the universe is so much bigger than one book or one religion can capture. Um, yeah, I do what works for me. Christianity, it works for me. Ancestral veneration, it works for
Yeah.
me. Um, but I also let people do what works for them because I think that also is holy. And I think so often um, we stop people from meeting God when we try to limit how they can get to God and how God can interact with them, what words God can use to speak to them, because God always constantly
Be talking.
music.
Be
Like
talking.
I'll be listening to a song and it's like that's real. That didn't happen, but that's real. So to those people, I say mind your damn business. But like from you, but from me, the theologian, I'm just be like, hey, God has shown God's self many times in human history,
Yeah.
and can you say that like God is like brimstone and fire is gonna go to people who have never encountered Christianity, will never encounter Christianity?
Yeah.
Just because of geolocation.
And so, thank you for sharing that for one, because I feel like I tiptoe around speaking about spirituality and religion because of never really trying to offend people, but also it's really important to have dialogue.
Mhm.
But, the one thing I'm big on my testimonies because I know what I've been through to what I've survived, but also like it really I'll take it back to Atlanta. When I was in Atlanta, um, every time I then went on a trip, God has talked to me through it and gave me purpose on what I needed to do in the next journey of my life. Sometimes it was with my platform, but a lot of it was like really personal rooted things that I was shying away from. So
Yeah.
I completely understand what you're saying when they be like, no, like he be telling you things because literally what he's telling me to do with Mouthy and our leaders and all of that and how I need to focus on highlighting y'all stories and y'all work and archiving our history so we don't be erased. And I was like, no, I don't really think I'm the girl for that. And he was like, if not you, then who? Okay. And I was like, okay, you're right. No more
Seriously,
questions.
Joe, if not you, then who? Because
Okay.
and this is the thing that I always tell people, like in our community specifically, like it's not a lot of us. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to do that's in your lane to do it. You're not gonna have any competition. It's not enough of us for us to be competing with each other.
Eating. You hear me? It's gonna always be, you're the first. You're the first. 20 years later,
Okay,
you're the first.
and we keep
Okay.
moving.
Because even now, when I think about the work that BGR is bringing, like BGR was the first place that made me believe in my platform, made me believe in myself. The first place that I ever felt recognized and like poured into. You know what I mean? Yes, you don't want to take nothing from the jobs and all that, but y'all was getting the labor while y'all was paying me. So it was exchange. But BGR had nothing, they didn't owe me anything. And so to pour into me in a way where I can come back and believe in myself and my vision and my platform,
Yeah.
I'm always indebted. I'm always indebted to the work that they do and just watching how we all come together for a common purpose to do this work, for our people, for our community. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I think people come to BGR every year and they have their critiques of the space or whatever, and that's valid or whatever. Um, but the reality is, this is such a space for potential to blossom.
Yes.
Because my potential has blossomed in this space like shit. Um, yeah,
Same.
I think that, like, if I had to define BGR, like, it really is like a place where you can come and get your potential tapped into, brought out of you. And, so that's what it did for me too. I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because Dream place, bucket list, crossed off. Ain't got to worry about it no more. Okay. If
Yes,
we can't go to Bella Noche's, then where can we go?
where you go, girl?
I'm just saying, I'll wait. Okay. But no, in all seriousness, let people know how they can keep up with you, checking out your podcast, which I hope to come and be a guest on. Do you have guests on there?
No, but I've been wanting to rework the format
Okay,
some to
okay.
have like some conversations about spirituality and religion, to like kind of balance and give context for some of the meditations as well. So,
Ooh, okay. Well,
you might
however,
be the first one, girl. You might be the
I'm
first.
here. Whatever you need, use me. What they say, use me.
Oh God.
Yes,
Um,
but I'm here for it because I love what you're doing. I love what you stand for, and this is just giving you your flowers. Like when I feel, I'm big on energy. When I feel your energy is very pure, it's very uplifting, it's very healing. Even though you don't heal people, you at least bring them to a place of betterment. And that I love. You can't make that shit up. You can read all the books you want, you can pretend and act like, but you really are something beautiful, and I want you to walk in your purpose. Don't second guess yourself. You got this, and know that if you ever need whatever kind of support, we may not talk every day, but when you call me, I'm coming to support
yes,
you in any way you want me to, sister, because that's going to be something beautiful, and the people need to feel you the way I felt you at BGR at any time we connect. Okay.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Of
Um,
course.
Y'all can find me at Meditations with Desi on like just Google Meditations with Desi, and all of the pages will pop up. But if you want to find me where I'm most active, then that will be TikTok, and my TikTok is Church Cunt. That would be
Yes, Judge God.
ChurchKunt. So you can find me there. If you're Black and trans, you can add me on Facebook, Desi A. Shazafina. Um, Not on Twitter, but I do have a Twitter for the Meditations with Desi. Instagram is ESHEZAFINA, Aisha Zafina, my middle name. So connect with the kid, book with the kid. Let's get y'all. Let's go meditate. Let's breathe. Let me bring some oxygen into your life. A breath of fresh air named Desi.
Because if you don't want to breathe, then you going what? Die? I think that's what happens.
Okay.
Or pass the fuck out.
You ain't gotta breathe. You ain't gotta breathe.
You ain't gotta breathe, but you're gonna want to breathe.
You don't
Okay.
want to. You don't want to.
You know, but to each and everybody got what we use that word. You said everybody got agency.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
got autonomy to choose
Yes.
for themselves. You right. Don't breathe. Um, but with that being said, I'm excited for the holiday season. I am excited to continue with this series of Black Joy from BTF to keep highlighting my community leaders and people that's just amazing. And we have to archive our history. So thank you for coming on, shedding light on meditation, religion, and all of that good stuff. And you can always come back. You're always welcome
Girl,
back.
I'll be back whenever you want me.
Okay, period. Now, y'all heard her say it. So it's your girl, Miss Mouthy. Even when you what? Don't see me, you hear me. Till next time, bye.
Bye.